Bring in Senator Martin Heinrich, Democrat from New Mexico. It's good to see you, Senator. Look, Kamala Harris certainly seems to have the wind at her sails right now. Your campaign has said that you're in a tougher race than a lot of people have suggested it is. New Mexico also has certainly one of the most competitive House races in the country with Gabe Vasquez. Has Kamala Harris helped?
Enormously. I mean, the difference in enthusiasm on the ground is palpable, and that can buy you 2 or 3 points. So for my race, which was, closer than in the past, certainly for a race like Gabe Vasquez, that's been neck and neck for in the past cycle and in this cycle, this makes a giant difference. And I think Tim Walz makes a difference. I mean, this is somebody I know from my years in the House. You couldn't ask for a more real guy. I mean, he's the guy that J.D. Vance pretends to be.
So, look, there was a lot of conversation that Kamala Harris, in a very compressed period of time, had 3 big opportunities. One was choosing a VP. You and a lot of other people think she surprised but did a positive thing. Then it's the convention and the debate. We've seen reports you are not going to attend the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Are you skipping it?
I'm not skipping it. I typically don't go to the conventions when I'm in cycle. My time is better invested in New Mexico. I have no concerns about the top of the ticket. I mean, I would love for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to be in New Mexico. These are people who are running an incredible campaign. And if you just look at how from moment one, Kamala Harris as vice president was in command of this election cycle and this campaign apparatus, I think this is a great ticket for New Mexico, and we're on our way to a victory. It will not be a slam dunk, but we are definitely on our way to a victory. So
you mentioned you know Tim Walz, you like Tim Walz. Where does he help? And can you tell me particularly, are there places in the Sun Belt? Because we talked about him a lot in the Midwest and sort of the feeling that he gives. People say he's, kind of like your dad or your uncle. But does he help in your part of the country?
He does. He's just a normal person. And there's this vibe around the Republican ticket right now. And he hit the nail on the head when he said, these guys are just weird. There are so many issues where Republicans right now want to be in your wife's exam room and your kid's bathroom at school. And don't get me even started about Googling or searching about dolphins. This is a weird ticket. And you look at Donald Trump, the guy never laughs or smiles. It's odd. And then on the other side of the competition, you have this very normal, energetic duo. And Tim Walz is just a regular, pragmatic guy who likes to get things done.
You are smack in the middle, New Mexico, of 2 of the big border states, right? Arizona, which we know is a battleground state, Texas, which has an enormous border. There's been a lot of reporting about her weakness as the borders are. We have new reporting that after President Biden's executive order limiting asylum claims, the number of migrants in shelters on the southern borders and in some major cities has plummeted, in some cases by as much as 60%. How big of an issue do you see that as, and what can she do about it? Do you feel like she's behind on that issue?
No, I think the Republicans have a real challenge on this issue now because we came together, Republicans and Democrats, recognizing where the weak points were in our border and immigration policy. And right smack in the middle of that is our asylum law. So the president has stepped up and done what he needs to do. But we still need to change the asylum law so that it can't be gamed by cartels who are trafficking people from all parts of the world. We tried to solve that with Republican input and Republicans at the negotiating table, and Donald Trump told his party to walk away. So in many cases, or in many ways, it's actually the Republicans who are going to have challenges because they don't want to actually fix this. They want an issue, not a solution. Democrats, like myself, are going to continue to support solutions.
Senator Martin Heinrich, I would be remiss and I would get in trouble with one of my brothers who went to New Mexico Highlands University if I didn't give them a shout out, and your state in general.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Great to see you.
Great to have you on the program. Thank you. Ahead, the debate